Welcome back, professionals. I am Bharat Singh Thakur, your Excel trainer, and today we are diving into some powerful tools that every data driven role needs: lookup function and the data consolidation in Excel. Whether you are in finance, HR, operation, or logistics, this is going to be a game changer. So, let's we can start. The first slide you can see understanding the basic syntax of lookup function. Lookup. By the statement, you can see that it is having a three part: lookup value, lookup vector, and result vector. Lookup value to search for; lookup vector, one row or one column range for search; and result vector, that is not required. So why we are using this thing? Why we are using lookup? A lookup is a basic but powerful function that searches for a value in a one column or one row range and returns a result. Where we can use? You give a Excel a word or number. Excel finds it and gives you the matches value from a list. So this is basically we are using for lookup function. We are using this function to find a product name from a list of product codes and retrieving a region based on a branch ID. Always you have to remember that whenever you are using a lookup function, always sort your data before using for best result. Now we come to the next slide. Understanding the basic syntax of lookup function, VLOOKUP. So from the syntax you can see that it is a little bit similar to lookup function, but there is one difference. First is a value, second is a table column index, and then range lookup. So from the statement you can see that it is having a three part. First is a value, which is basically used for searching from the first column of the table. Second is a table, that is a range of cells or a group of cells which we are using for retrieving data. Then column index, from a range of cells which particular column we are searching for, it is a column index. And range lookup, it's not required, but if you want to search a value which is approximate match with the lookup value, then we are using true one. If we use a exact match value, we use a false. So by the statement you can see that value, what you want to find; table, where you are searching; column index, column number to pull data from; and range, true for approximate and false for exact match. Where we are using this VLOOKUP function? When we are having a large amount of data and we are looking for a particular employee details. Either we are using a sales data or we are using a custom order details. So what are the things we have to remember? Always lock your table range with $sign to avoid error when copying formula in VLOOKUP function. Now we move to the next slide, HLOOKUP function. So the statement you can see it is also similar to VLOOKUP function. The main difference between the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP function is VLOOKUP is used for vertical match and HLOOKUP is used for horizontal match. Value, as same value you search from the table, then table where where value will be retrieved, row index, row number where we can find the pull data, then range, as similar to VLOOKUP, true for approximate match and false for exact match. You have to remember that VLOOKUP is generally used by most of the financial terms or financial people, and HLOOKUP is basically used for some kind of statistical data search. One tip for you: HLOOKUP, when working with the time-based data where months or quarters are headers, then we are using a HLOOKUP function. And the real world use: monthly revenue across different regions, comparing quarterly performance across different products. Now we move to the next slide. Practical use of lookup functions. Lookup, VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. So I already explained that. It is used for a large amount of data where we are searching a particular value from a group of cells, or we are searching some kind of test based data, monthly financial figures out, or either we are consulting employee profile from a different worksheet or workbook. That time we are using a lookup, VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP function. Now we come to the next slide. Whenever we are using a lookup or VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP function, some extra functions we can add it there. Those are if, ISBLANK, IFERROR. If function I already explained in the previous session of beginners for Excel. If, from the syntax you can see it is having a logical test condition, then value if true, and after that value if false. What is logical test? The logical expressions that will be evaluated when we have given. Value if true, if the expressions get true, then the value if true the part will be executed. If the expression is false, then the value to be returned when logical test is not satisfied. It is used for conditional based check. For example, marks for a student pass and fail. It is based on the true or false condition. If the value is less than and greater than, we can say it will be pass or fail. Now, next, aging report. If you can use as a aging report creation, performance remarks creation, or we can use a nested if conditions for complex decision makings. Next, we come to the ISBLANK function. ISBLANK. It is having only one expression. Value to be check. Check if cells are empty or not. So, why we are using ISBLANK? It checks if a cell is empty or not. If it is empty, then it gives the result. So, where we can use? Where we have a missing values to identify incomplete records or pull out the first non-empty values in a list. Then we are using ISBLANK function. Now we come to the next slide. If error. From the syntax you can see that if error, value and value if error. So why we are using if error? If something goes wrong, show a friendly message instead of ugly Excel errors. We are using if error function. We can use it for replacing this kind of messages, just like hash any, hash div, hash name, hash null. So these are Excel error messages. When you want to exchange this value with our user friendly messages, we are using if error function. Where we can use this? We can use this when we are creating a dashboard. We can use this when we have some kind of error values in a list of data. That time we can use if error function. Now we are going to one level up, that is index and match. Index and match, it is a powerful duo. It is a super lookup function because it's used combinedly. Where we can search dynamically without the limitation of VLOOKUP. It's look up the value from the left side also, and it is used to perform two-way lookup. One important point you have to remember: index and match makes your Excel modules blueproof for future expansion. Now one example you can see. In this Excel sheet, you can see that it is having a two table. In one table, we have a two column employee number and name, and second table is having name, designation, and employee number. And we applied index and match function. Index is having the statement for a particular cell range E4 to E9, which is matching the values B3, that is employee number, from the range of our list of values G4 to G9. If it is match, it will give the value from the E4 to E9 in the cell C3. So this is the index and match function for looking the left side value. Use of two-way lookup with match and index function. I'm directly go to the example. Now here you can see it is having size and style. You can see that in the style we have four types of styles, and we are having different sizes for that: small, medium, and large. Here it is showing a cost for sleeveless and the size is medium. So here we apply two matches, index C4 to E7, starting from C4 to E7, matches C10. C10 is the sleeveless from the range B4 to B7. B4 to B7. If it is match, give the one value. Second, C11. C11 medium, C3 to C3. Checking the values, then 1. Now it's check the value and give the result. Cost is 40. So this is two-way lookup with match and index function. One important part in this session is data consolidation. What is data consolidation? So it is an Excel way of merging multiple data sets into one clean and summarized report. That is known as data consolidation. Why we use a data consolidation? Combining different kinds of sheets. For example, combining departmental budget, creating one master report from different branches, and summarizing sales across multiple months. First, the definition you can understand: data consolidation, collection and integration of data from multiple sources into a single destination. Now, you can see this is the one sheet, this is the second sheet. Now, we are combining two different sheets in one particular total sheet. How we can do this? Go to data tab, then consolidate, then choose your function, sum, average, etc. Then select your data range, and then we can select the tables and click on OK. It will consolidate the result. Now, where we can use consolidation? In the different sheets with the same format, different sheets with different format, different workbook with the same format, and different workbook with different format. So this is known as consolidation. In the next lecture, we can do more practical work on this part. Now, so in this session, we have covered lookup basic, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP for vertical and horizontal data, smart functions, if, ISBLANK, IFERROR, index and match, the model lookup duo, and consolidating scattered data into powerful report. Excel isn't just about working harder, it's about working smarter. Master these skills and you will command your data like a true professional. In today's session, we laid the foundation with all the key lookup functions, smart formula enhancement, and the powerful data consolidation tools. But this is just a theory, or it is a beginning. In our next video, we will roll up our sleeves and get hands-on with the real-life practical examples of lookup, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, and our live demos of index plus match actions. And also step-by-step data consolidations from multiple workbooks. So make sure to like and subscribe. Drop your question in the comments and let me know which function you struggle with most. Stay sharp, stay smart, and let Excel do the hard work. See you in the next one.